OpenNow allows faculty to customize their courses. To do that, we're going to start by clicking on the Instructor Controls choice from the main menu. And here I'll start with the course editor. From this page, you can move modules around. You can hide any items that you don't want to assign in your course, and you'll get a warning. You can choose not to show this again, but this is going to let you know that any test questions aligned to the learning outcome of this content will be hidden from students once you hide the content. I can also rename lessons. On any graded activity, I can set due dates and points. As well as decide which time the assignment will be due. I can select whether the item is for credit or not. Once I've made all the customizations I'd like to make to my course, I can hit publish. This will make all these changes live for my students. It'll give me a summary page so I can see what changes I've made and confirm that they're accurate. And then once I hit submit, my students will see those changes in their course. If I've made any errors or I'd like to go back to what the course originally was set at, I can click Reset to Original, and it'll remove all the changes I've made. Again, it'll give me a pop-up to show me what items are going to change. I can hit Reset, and the course will be reset. Another way instructors in OpenNow can customize their course is by visiting the Course Policies tab on the Instructor Controls page. To get there, click the left nav bar, click Instructor Controls, and then choose Course Policies. The first policy under Course Policies is the due date policy. Here, instructors have the choice whether to prevent students from submitting beyond the due date, giving them a message that they're no longer able to submit the assignment, or to allow submissions beyond the due date. If instructors choose this option, students will be able to submit beyond the due date, and instructors may choose to mark them late in the grade book as desired. Once you've made a change here, you hit save. We also have the ability for instructors to exempt specific students from due date policies. This might be because a student has an ADA accommodation letter, or they've had a family emergency, or some other reason an instructor might want to exempt them from the due date. To do that, you just type in some letters of the student's name, select their name, and hit save. If there's a point at which the accommodation no longer applies to this student, you can simply go in, delete the student's name, and hit save. Then the due dates will be the same as they were previously for them. The other option on the course policies page is the ability to choose assessment policies. On this page, it shows the different assessment types in the platform and gives instructors the choice on how many attempts they'd like students to have and what they'd like the grading policy for this item to be. So for example, for concept check, it's currently set at unlimited. I'm going to change this to 5. And for this, I'd like to grade the latest attempt, so the last attempt the students have. I can change that for the other assessment types, and once I've made my changes, hit save. This will now apply to all the students in my course. The instructor controls in OpenNow also allow instructors to edit questions. To do this, select Instructor Controls from the top left menu, and then select the Edit Questions tab. From this page, you'll see all of the assessment types in the course: the Show What You Know, the Concept Check, the Module Quizzes. To edit one of these items, simply click on the item. Here you have a few options. You can hide questions that you don't want to be assigned to your students. You can edit questions, or you could replace them with your own. At the top of the page, it shows the competency that these questions are aligned with. Here we have describe the characteristics and goals of psychology as a multidisciplinary science. So if I choose to replace any of these questions, I'll want to make sure that I align my new question with this competency. Here you can see I've hidden one of the questions. It shows me that it's hidden. To unhide, I click unhide. I can also edit questions. To do that, I'll click edit. Here I can add items to the stem. I can edit any of the responses. I can remove answer choices. I could add answer choices. I can also edit the remediation that is given when a student gets a correct answer and an incorrect answer. Once I've made all the changes I'd like to make, I hit Finish Edit. And if I'd like to reset the question to how it was before I started making changes, I can also select Reset Question. So I'm going to hit Finish Edit. When I've made all of my changes that I'd like to make, I'll hit Publish. Now that I've made changes to this first question here, you can see the word custom. This shows that this is a question I've made changes to. Here, you can see a question I haven't edited. It says original. And then the questions that I hid are at the bottom here. And if I've changed my mind about hiding them, I can click on hide and they'll come back.